Love and peace from the conscious room. It's your brother Keyway Bomani. And I wanna go in a little bit on why I'm so big on professing self-love, self-this, self-that. I want y'all to find me. I want to comb the surface a little bit to give you a better understanding why I'm so big on self. Cause take this for instance. Go back to our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers and grandfathers. And this thing about this black people, when we growing up in America, growing up in this society, growing up where most of us had a Christian background or whatever. So it starts there. It starts in the home where a young black child wakes up in his house and he walks around his house and he sees a picture of a white God or Jesus. And his mother, his father, her grandmother, her father keep telling him this guy and portray this Jesus as God. Boom. And his Jesus don't look nothing like me or you. That's the first step. So imagine that. Then going to the school system and giving a curriculum that was made for white people, for white people. Boom. You take a child in that environment at a young age. Remember, a child's like a sponge. Then you tell him about Christopher Columbus, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, so forth and so on. And none of these characters look like that child. And then you get a child a little bit of his history, but the worst part, that he was a slave. He's a descendant from slaves. And you feed this over 12 years. You feed this to the child. Then don't forget you had the religion aspect. He's seeing this white Jesus. Then they going to school. She going to school and they seeing these pictures of all these white people with these great accomplishments. But they ain't seen nothing look like them. The closest thing, the only thing that they seen look like them was slaves. They know they was a slave. So now, unconsciously, they done start spinning wheels within our heads. We don't see no reflection of us in these curriculums, in these schools, in these religions. So automatically, we accept an inferiority complex, a self of our skin, of our blackness, because we don't see no great achievements or nothing. All we know, God associated with white. And that's what we call to when they need help. We go to school, all we be getting taught is about whites. All these great white people, this, that, and the third. And we not seeing no positive pictures of ourselves. Now, all this, them two main factors alone, and I ain't even going into no other categories, is enough to cripples a child. And the Bible says you raise a child up in the way it should go. Them two processes that most blacks go through growing up in the past, it kills you. It takes all the fight out you from the rip. So now we got children that don't want to go to school. We got people that got low self-esteem because they don't see nothing respectable of themselves. Now, this thing about all that, and then everything else coming to play, TV, this, that, this shit is being perpetuated. Whiteness and blackness. It go back to what I was saying in that thing, how the brother taught Malcolm how everything in the dictionary associated with white was good and everything with black is bad. And that's the interpretation a young black child is receiving his whole life. We especially coming up in our era and before. So how do you expect this black child to grow up and be productive to himself and his own kind? Because at the end of the day, he become Europeanized. He become indoctrinated. He become inferior. He develops a low self-esteem, no self-worth. See, all that is deep. But we don't really look at that. And we don't understand why we move the way we move, why we kill each other. We be like, I love me. Ain't no such thing. That's self-hate. Because you've been taught to hate yourself, your blackness. You don't even dig it. It's like they trick you into hating yourself. And it's deep. We don't see a lot of, even, you might got some of us PhDs with the Yale, the finest universities and all that. And they striving and thriving financially. And they might be making a little push in this world. But the sad thing about it, they don't even know how indoctrinated or how really confused they are. Because it's just been, they've been living like this for so long and giving things that's going to keep feeding it and perpetuating it. So they really think they doing something, and sometimes they ain't doing nothing but harming themselves and the struggle and the plight of all of us. Because a lot of times the education and religion and the things we absorb in this country is detrimental to us. And it got us moving against ourselves consciously and unconsciously, and we don't even dig it. That's how deep it is on a psych level. So like we really don't even understand. This little bit I'm giving you is just like I said, just combing the surface. But if you just think about that, all the two things right there forms basically most people's foundations. Boom. If your foundation is not sturdy, it's wobbly and all that, man, how you gonna go out and produce and make something happen in life? So the odds is against us and has always been against us. And a wise man once said that in order to get to a root of the problem, you must go to the origin. And that's why I took y'all back just to our inception from the home to the school. They the most detrimental moves we make growing up because it's geared against us. It's not for our best or our self-interest. We following a paradigm that's is designed to destroy us, not to uplift us or make us even better. And a lot of us don't think, I'm going to go to school, get your education, just do that. Yeah, you need that. Because once you get an education, whether it's Europeanized or not, and you giving the right information and you run across brothers like me or whatever, they help with that little education you learn about them and in their system. You take it and do for self and learn about your history, study your ancestors, and you see the greatness within you. Then you give it to your children to break the cycle. Show them African pictures like you see in their background, great accomplishments by blacks. You know, that's what our children need to be fed, not pictures of the greatness of other people at that young age. They need to be fed pictures of us. Because like I said, a lot of times, 90% of stuff we've been taught was wrong. And it was given to us that way for a particular reason. We don't even dig it. You got to question it, man. Everything. It ain't what it is. So I hope that helped y'all, and just going back, trying to study yourself and find out who you are to establish some type of foundation to move forward. And I'm only doing this because I love y'all, man. We all we got. And I'm going to leave you like I came, with love and peace. Do the work.